At our rehearsal dinner the night before Amy and I were married, my three siblings gave a toast together. It was a combination of gentle ribbing and genuine affection. Now, you have to understand that I am the youngest of four, also known as the baby of the family. Their toast told the story, mostly tongue-in-cheek, of how hard my life had been growing up. Of course, they always thought I had it easy compared with their experiences growing up. Older siblings usually do. So the refrain throughout the toast was, "It ain't easy being baby brother." Well, Joseph wasn't quite the youngest. There was, in fact, one younger brother, Benjamin, but he was sort of the pet of the family, or at least their father's pet. They resented his favored place in the family far more than my siblings resented my place in our family. Suffice it to say, though, that as far as I know, my siblings never conspired to kill me. The same cannot be said of Joseph's brothers. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Friday, October 21st, 2022. Joseph apparently lacked a sense of tact or self-awareness. We read that at one point he brought back to their father a bad report of their conduct while they were out in the fields tending the family flocks. He was a tattletale. To make matters worse, Jacob did not hide the fact that he loved Joseph more than he loved the rest of his sons. He even gave Joseph a long coat with sleeves, what we used to call the coat of many colors, after a misinterpretation of the Hebrew. A long coat with sleeves was the dress of a man of leisure, not a working man. It set him apart as a man who would never have to work as hard as they did. And to make matters worse still, he had dreams that he freely told his brothers along with his interpretation of those dreams. For example, he dreamed about all the brothers working together binding sheaves of wheat, when all of a sudden his sheaf rose up above the rest and the other brothers' sheaves bowed down to Joseph's. Probably not something you want to tell your brothers. Well, sure enough, his brothers grew extremely resentful of him and they conspired to kill him. The plot is hatched when all the brothers except Joseph are far away from camp with the flocks, and Jacob sent Joseph to find them and bring back a report to him of how they were faring. So Joseph goes from place to place looking for his brothers, and after getting directions from a man he meets on the way, he finds them at a place called Dothan. That's where we pick up the story. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. They saw him from a distance, and before he came near to them, they conspired to kill him. They said to one another, "Here comes this dreamer. Come now, let us kill him and throw him into one of the pits. Then we shall say that a wild animal has devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams." But when Reuben heard it, he delivered him out of their hands, saying, "Let us not take his life." Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood. Throw him into this pit here in the wilderness, but lay no hand on him, that he might rescue him out of their hand and restore him to his father." So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the long robe with sleeves that he wore, and they took him and threw him into a pit. The pit was empty, there was no water in it. Then they sat down to eat, and looking up, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead with their camels carrying gum, balm, and resin on their way to carry it down to Egypt. Then Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites and not lay our hands on him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers agreed. When some Midianite traders passed by, they drew Joseph up, lifting him up out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they took Joseph to Egypt. Wow! Can't you just feel the family love here? Well, at least Reuben took enough pity to prevent them from killing him outright, but selling him into slavery might have been an even worse fate. And what we find as the story unfolds is that they lie to their father about his fate, telling him that a lion has eaten him. Once again, it's difficult to see the redeeming value of this story. But this particular story isn't meant to be told in a vacuum. It serves to set us up for a redemption story, in which the brothers will be reunited after some years apart, much like the story of the reunion of Jacob and Esau. And when they are reunited, they are reconciled. We'll take up that story tomorrow, and the wacky story of Abraham's crazy family will come to make a little better sense. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.